Hello everybody, welcome back. This is Low Carb Carnivore. In today's video, I am going to be sharing my tips and tricks that will help people get into the ketogenic lifestyle and the carnivore, ketovore, whatever you decide to do to make this journey a little bit easier on yourself and share a little bit of the wisdom that I have learned over the years, because I had spent about 2 years researching, or 2 or 3 years researching. But let's get on with that. And the first thing is, do your research. Research is important. Don't take my word for it. Don't take anybody's word for it. Do your own research. The answers are out there. And there's plenty of other YouTubers besides myself. There's Dr. Barry, Dr. Chafee, Dr. Sean Baker, all doctors, mind you. I mean, of course, it's in their title. But very good sources, and they all have, limitless sources if you're concerned about, all the stigma that goes around with this way of eating and everything. It's not true, just to cut it short. But, after you do your research and you find out something that, okay, is this what I want to do? Then you go ahead and go on to the next step. And the next step is know your reason why. Why do you want to do this? Why do you want to make this change in your life? Is it friends, family, for yourself? Just want to feel better, just, not feeling the best, and you want to lose weight, or you want to get rid of some of the crazy things that you might have heard that the ketogenic lifestyle will do for you. And it does work. I am living proof. But know your why. Definitely know your why, because it's going to be a good motivator to keep you going in those tough spots. And as well as knowing your why, another tip I would give is get mentally ready for this change, because it is going to be hard. It's going to be difficult, and anything worth doing in life is going to be difficult. So, prepare yourself. Plan out, set a date. Like, I'm going to start doing this date or that date, and get your mind ready for it, because you're going to have to cut out a lot of things, and the first couple of weeks is going to be a little rough. I'm not going to lie. It's going to be a little rough, but it does get better. And once you start feeling the benefits of eating this way, you're going to feel amazing. So that is my next tip that leads me into that. Get rid of all your junk. Is also all sources of sugar and seed oils. Like anything, you just get rid of it all. Anything you can think of that it might have sugar in it, and any seed oils or anything like that you might be using, like vegetable oil, canola oil, sunflower oil, sapphire oil, corn oil, cottonseed oil, just to name a few. And one that I used to be stuck with, and I still can't believe that I ate that garbage, was margarine. Margarine is a killer. It is so bad for you. Butter is the way to go if you're gonna, use any kind of thing like that. Just it's the way to go. And my next step is to become a label reader. Yes, a label reader. Become a label reading detective. Get your little magnifying glass out, zoom it in on your phone, however you have to read those ingredients. And if you don't know what it says or don't know what it means for an ingredient, then it's probably a good choice to stay away from it altogether, because those ingredients will slip up on you. And don't fall into the trap of, oh, well, this has been good and this has been clear for me, and I've read this label before, so I don't have to read it anymore. Go back and check it periodically, because those labels, you'd be surprised on the stuff that will sneak in there, or new companies take over, they get new management or something. when they're making a product and they throw different ingredients in there. It happens all the time. So always read your labels. I cannot stress that enough. I've been duped a few times. Like, for instance, I'll give you two instances. The first time, I was drinking my coffee and I thought, okay, well, I'm using the zero sugar creamers and zero sugar sweeteners, so it's fine. This is perfectly fine. And I totally glossed over the fact that I wasn't reading the labels. And I should have been, because one day, just looked at it and I'm like, oh, wow, this has canola oil, this has soybean oil in it. This is so bad. And no wonder, I'm stalling out on my progress. I'm not doing good. I'm still feeling like crap. So it's not worth it. So I got rid of those. And then I was checking the seasonings I was using, and yes, seasoning. It's like, what is even the point of putting bad ingredients in seasoning? It's just seasoning. But I had a bottle of seasonings I got from Sam's Club. It was the Kinder's brand, and I was looking through there, seeing all kind of spices and stuff they use, and I could not believe my eyes when I saw soybean oil on that one too. I'm like, what is even the point of it? Was just salt, pepper, and garlic. What is even the point of putting that in there? So you see, it can sneak up on you. It could definitely sneak up on you. Now, another thing to get rid of is the breads, the grains, the cereals, the pastas. Toss it or give it to the food shelf, because you're not going to need it. This is going to set you back, and it's, it goes against everything that is the ketogenic lifestyle, regardless if you're doing keto, carnivore, or ketovore. To go along with what we were just talking about, and just start off. I would suggest starting off slow. Take your time into this. It's not a race. You're gonna get through it, but go slow. Learn what your body can handle and what it can handle, and what you like and what you dislike. Because if you just go racing full into it and everything, I would start off like, if I can go back, because I just started straight off on keto. If I can go back and do it a little easier on myself and like think of a plan, I would start off easy. I would take my time, start off nice and slow, because there's going to be about a 2-week, maybe 3-week, maybe, a month, worst case scenario. You're going to go through withdrawals. You're going to have the sugar cravings. You're going to have the carbs cravings. And you're going to feel like crap. To me, going off carbs and sugar, because I'm an ex-smoker too. I quit smoking about 3 years ago. But to me, quitting carbs and sugar was like quitting smoking a second time. You get that anxiety that, oh man, you can't stop thinking about it. And it just sucks so bad. But trust me, there's light at the end of the tunnel. You will get used to it. It will go away. Just keep eating that bacon. Just keep eating that meat and keep eating those healthy fats. And before you know it, you won't even be thinking about it anymore, and you won't want it. So now, after about 2 weeks, depending on how you feel with the cravings, to make the full change, whether it be keto, ketovore, or carnivore, I highly, highly suggest trying the carnivore for at least 90 days. Now, why would I suggest this? Now, after you get all the sugar cravings and everything out of the way, this is going to make things 10 times easier for you. And the reason I would suggest doing carnivore for at least 90 days, and then after the 90 days, go do keto, ketovore, whatever works best for you. Because this is a lifestyle change. This is not just some fad. Because it works. But the reason why I would say to do carnivore for at least 90 days is there's a bunch of things you could be allergic to, like different vegetables, different seasonings and everything, or just different autoimmune issues, which means chemicals and stuff in certain plants that affect your body that you may not have even known has affected you. So it's good to get off all that stuff for 90 days. Eat as clean as you can during those 90 days. And then after the 90 days, you can go back, try a little bit, and see what affects your body and what don't. And then the next step is it's time to decide. Now that you know what foods is good and that you can handle, and the foods that you like, the foods that you enjoy the most, so foods that make you feel the best, it's time to choose. Whether you do keto, whether it be Ketovore or Carnivore. Personally, I like Carnivore the best because it works best for me. But so as far as keto, do the whole food approach would be my best suggestion for keto. Like, meat, veggies, maybe a tiny bit of fruit here and there, depending, again, if you're, diabetic or something like that. I would just stay away from the fruit. Because like I heard Carrie from Homestead House say the other day, and I 100% agree with him, fruit nowadays has been so genetically modified from what it originally was. It's like candy now. So fruit isn't, I would, if you're going to have it, if you're already fairly metabolically healthy, then, fruit could be okay for some people. But for like me, like I'm diabetic, so I have to stay away from all that stuff. And do not use the keto products. I know it sounds good and some of the stuff might taste good, but they can be very, very deceptive and hide things in their ingredients and stuff. If you're just kind of, oh look, it says keto on it, and then you're going ahead and buying it, and then the next thing you know, you're gaining weight or you're having sugar cravings and stuff again. So it's just best to back off and stay away from those kind of products. Now, Ketovore would be the next option. Like Ketovore, what is Ketovore? Ketovore, to me anyway, is basically a meat-heavy version of keto. Especially for those of us who still want a bit of veggies with their meals, or who like to use seasonings and stuff. Again, know what kind of seasonings or veggies and stuff that might irritate your system and stuff, so stay away from that. But once you know, Ketovore is a fantastic option. And there's a lot of us out there that do it. But Carnivore, now that's the last option. Now, Carnivore is very strict, but very, very rewarding. And yet, very simple, is one of the reasons why I love Carnivore so much. Carnivore is, at its simplest form, is meat, water, and salt. And that's really all there is to it. I mean, you can eat all different kinds of meat, whether it be beef, which is the best in my opinion, because it keeps you the most satisfied, and it's the most nutrient dense. And there's seafood, there's chicken, there's elk, there's bison, there's lamb. I mean, there's so many different kind of meats you can eat. So there's variety. It's not as strict or as restrictive as one might think. But there's that. And now the next important thing, very important thing, is electrolytes. When you're switching from the standard American diet to your new ketogenic lifestyle, whether it be keto, carnivore, ketovore, whatever, you're going to need electrolytes, because your body isn't going to be having the same things that it did before. Because roughly, I don't know the whole science behind it, but I've heard other people state that when you don't have the carbs in your body anymore, your body's not holding on to that fluid. And when you have all that fluid and carbs in your body actually requires a lot less salt in your diet. And if I'm wrong or mistaken by this, correct me, but by all means. But that's how I know it to be. So when you take all that junk out of your body and out of your diet, you're going to need the salt to replace the salt and electrolytes in your system. Now, there's all different kinds of electrolytes that you can choose from. Whether it be Keto Chow, which is one I use because it's simple. I don't really need flavors or anything like that. And they have a couple different options there for keto chow. And Dr. Berry helped formulate it, so I trust that one. There's Element, which is widely popular, and a little on the spendy side, but they're still very good. And I hear a lot of people absolutely love the flavors, and they even have a tasteless one, so they're very good to have. And then the next thing I would love to talk to you guys about is fats. Fats, yummy, yummy fats. Our body needs this and wants it and craves it. And so what kind of fats could you use now that you're, in this ketogenic lifestyle? Well, if you're on the Ketovore side of things, you can do avocado oil, coconut oil, olive oil is good, but you got to be careful with olive oil, because olive oil, you have to do your research with that one, because a lot of the times the manufacturers will, to save money, will mix other bad oils with the olive oil and label it as label it as olive oil. So stay away from that if you can help it. And then on the carnivore side of things, there's butter, of course, ghee, which ghee is really not my thing, but if it works for you, go ahead. It's good. There's lard or beef tallow, which is very, very good. There's bacon fat, which is the drain, the stuff. You can save that, put it in a jar, save that. Bacon grease that makes everything taste amazing. So you put it with your eggs, put it with anything. But yep, that about covers the fats. So closing up, winding down here, the tips that I would have to make this a whole lot easier on you is, first of all, avoid the naysayers, because it's weird and it's really sad that when you start eating healthy, an actually healthy diet, because people have been lied to for so long and are in the stigma of fat is bad and you're gonna have a heart attack and you're gonna end up dying and all this because of it. It's just ignore them. You've done the research at this point. You know the truth. You know about the sugar companies and everything fudging and paying people off to shift the studies in their favor. So it's not true. So just avoid the naysayers at all costs, because they're not going to help your journey. Second tip would be record your journey. Start a YouTube channel. Help, keep yourself accountable. There's lots of support and everything from doing that. Or just keep a journal. Write it down. Track your weight and your measurements and take pictures of yourself beforehand, even though you probably in most cases don't want to, but you're going to wish you did towards the end of your journey. So record your journey. Now, my next tip would be, if you slip up in any way, things happen. You're only human. You're new to this. You're not going to be perfect. You're going to make mistakes. You're going to slip up, but don't let it stop you. Don't stop the diet. From personal experience, don't take, I'm just going to take a couple days. Don't just go, if you mess up, eat something you shouldn't have ate, or go out and grab a Frosty, or, get a burger from the burger joint or whatever, because you just don't have time or whatever. Just don't look back. Just learn from it and get right back on it and for the next meal and go good again, because it's going to happen. You're going to make mistakes and you're going to mess up, but the key with doing that is learning from your mistakes and learning from your slip-ups. Because for me, every time I had a slip-up, it was definitely a learning experience, because I felt so horrible and so bad every time I messed up and ate the wrong thing. So now I gotten myself to the point where I feel like I've made all my mistakes. I know that this is for me and I don't want to mess up anymore. I don't want to slip. I don't want to cheat. And if it means not eating, then rather than cheating or whatever, then I guess I don't eat for the day. I guess I'm just fasting a little longer. So there's that. My next tip would be talking about like zero sugar sweeteners and everything, because you got to be careful with that too, and you got to know yourself. Because like for keto, there's going to be some recipes or some things with the zero sugar sweeteners in there that, like, if you're a person that, you know, is not addictive personality, you can, you know, probably get away with using it a little there, here and there, like the zero sugar pops or drinks and everything. If you can, you know, maintain it at least to start off with, and it doesn't affect the rest of your diet, just, you know, to get you through things, then, you know, by all means, do you, and if it works for you, do that. But a lot of times with a lot of people, the zero sugar, the sweet drinks will bring cravings for cake and ice cream and donuts and other bad things that you shouldn't be having, or it'll even give you carb cravings. Which brings me to my next point. I am still on the zero sugar drinks, and I'm gonna be getting off of them. This September, I am doing a self challenge. You guys are welcome to join me if you'd like, but I'm doing a self challenge for at least the month of September. I'm giving up all the zero sugar, artificial sweeteners, and the drinks, and I'm not gonna do any of that. And for at least the entire month, just to see how I feel. Now, if I feel good and I feel better and I'm starting getting a lot more progress and change, yeah, I'm gonna stick with it. But if I feel, you know, the same or nothing's really changed and everything, yeah, I might have one or two in there again. But for the most part, I want to just stay away from that if I can help it, because while it's less bad than sugar, it's still not the greatest for you. And there's other studies that are coming out and everything that don't have much good to say with that. But that is my tips and ideas for helping you guys hop on and become part of this ketogenic community, this carnivore community, this keto community, this Ketovore community. So, like I said, to recap real quick, cut your stuff out, do your research, know your reason why. And one tip that I did forget, find a support group. There's different communities in this ketogenic atmosphere. There's Keto, Ketovore, and Carnivore. Tons of communities on Facebook, rather if you watch videos and just sit there in the chat and talk with everybody and ask questions and stuff, because, you know, it's new. You're not going to know everything right off the bat. There's going to be questions in your head. So whether it be from one of the doctors that I mentioned earlier or myself, ask questions, learn, and get into a community, because it's going to help. The support is going to be amazing. But with that being said, let's wrap this up. This is a long video. So like, share, subscribe, comment, and let me know if this video has helped you. And in the meantime, remember, we are strong alone, but we are stronger together. Keep going and keep rocking. You guys got this. I got this. We got this. We can do it. All right. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you on the next video. Thank you.